Let's pray. Mighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the officers of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you, Lord, with your abundant favor as your servants who you will please to call to the performance of important trust in this republic, let your blessings send upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your own glory and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our county and of those whose interest is to our church. Amen. I directed the quorum bell be rung for the first 5 minutes. I direct that the quorum bell be rung for a further 5 minutes. I'm informed that we already have quorum, so you can tell the Sergeant at Arms to stop ringing the bell. Clerk, take us through the order of the day.
Order paper number 239 of today, Thursday, 26th September 2024 at 2:30 p.m. Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Statement time. Next order.
Commencement of business. Order number 8, motion. Adoption of the report of PICPAC Committee on the examination of the Auditor General's report on the financial statements of Kisumu County Executive Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund for the financial year 2022-2023.
Yeah, I've got a letter here from the Honorable Kennedy Uko, Chairperson Committee of PICPAC, delegating the duty to Committee Vice Chairperson Honorable Jeffrey Warindu. Jeffrey Warindu, yeah, floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move a motion on the committee report on the examination of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the Kisumu County Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th June 2023. On behalf of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee and pursuant to Kisumu County Assembly Standing Orders 188, I wish to present to this House the report of the Committee of the Audited Financial Statement of Kisumu County Executive Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund for the financial year 2022-2023. The County Assembly exercises oversight over county government entities, stroke investment, and their expenditure pursuant to Article 185(3) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 through the Public Accounts and Investment Committee, which in turn derives its mandate from the County Assembly Standing Orders. It's instructive that Article 229(8) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 requires the County Assembly within 3 months after receiving an audit report to debate, consider the report, and take appropriate action. The committee held 2 sittings during which it received both written and oral evidences from the accounting officers on audit queries raised by the Audit General on the financial statement of Kisumu County Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund, financial year 2022-2023. Honorable Speaker, I wish to register my appreciation to fellow honorable members of the committee, the Office of the Speaker and the Clerk of the Assembly, Committee Secretariat, and the Office of the Auditor General for facilitation and technical support that made the production of this report possible. I also want to thank the management of Kisumu County Executive Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund for the improvement recorded in the management of the fund and honoring committee invitation and submission of responses on time. Special appreciation goes to the Hansard Department for ensuring that all our meetings with accounting officers are broadcasted live. Honorable Speaker, CPA Evans Otieno, the fund administrator and the accounting officer, appeared before the committee on 20th September 2024 to adduce evidence on the audited financial statement of the Kisumu County Executive Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th June 2023. The following officers represented the Office of the Auditor General in the committee meeting of 20th September 2024. Mr. Kennedy Ongoi, Deputy Director, and Mr. David Mutunga, Auditor. Basis for qualified opinion. The Auditor General flagged the following issues in the financial statement of the Kisumu County Executive Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th June 2023. The first issue that was flagged was long outstanding loans. Under long outstanding loans, the statement of financial position and as disclosed in Note 6 to the financial statement reflect long-term receivables from exchange transactions balances of 21,823,104 A review of the ledgers and beneficiaries files revealed that 861,268 Kenyan shillings of the outstanding balances amounts relates to 5 employees who have since left employment and has remained outstanding since October 2019. This is contrary to Regulation 17 and 19 of the Kisumu County Government Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund 2016, which states that where a borrower defaults in repaying the loan for a period of 4 consecutive months, the committee shall repossess and sell the vehicle to another deserving member of employee at first instance and thereafter to any other willing buyer. As at the time of the audit in November 2023, the principal and accrued interest outstanding was cleared by one of the loanees, leaving an outstanding balance of 179,592. In addition, no provision for bad and doubtful debts for these receivables have been provided in the financial statement. On this, the observation was that the accounting officer, this was the committee observation, that the accounting officer failed to enforce Regulation 17 and 19 of the Kisumu County Government Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund Regulations 2016, which states that where a borrower defaults in repaying the loan for a period of 4 consecutive months, the committee shall repossess and sell the vehicle to another deserving member of employee at first instance and thereafter to any other willing buyer. Number 2, that due to non-adherence to Regulation 17 and 19 of the Kisumu County Government Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund Regulation 2016, the fund had an outstanding loan balance of 179,592. That despite the outstanding loan balance of 179,592, no provision for bad debt and doubtful debt for these receivables were provided in the financial statements. And the recommendations for that were as follows: that in future, the accounting officer must implement Regulation 17 and 19 of the Kisumu County Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund Regulation 2016 where applicable. Recommendation number 2 for that was that in future, the accounting officer must ensure full provision for bad and doubtful debts in the financial statements, particularly where the fund has outstanding loans. That was for the first issue. For the second issue, there were only 3 issues, honorable members. For the second issue, we had inadequate fund capital. And on inadequate fund capital, this is what we had. Regulation 5 of the Kisumu County Car Loan and Mortgage Fund Scheme, Regulation 2016, stated that the fund shall consist of 60 million Kenyan shillings and 100 million Kenyan shillings for car loan and mortgage, respectively, all amounting to 160 million. However, the county government of Kisumu has injected only 47 million Kenyan shillings since the inception of the fund. Further, the statement of changes in the net assets reflect revolving fund balance of 47,295,000 as at 30th June 2023, which results to shortfall of 112,705,000. In the circumstances, management was in breach of law. On the committee observation on this was the committee observation was that contrary to Regulation 5 of the Kisumu County Car Loan and Mortgage Fund Scheme Regulation 2016, which states that fund shall consist of 60 million and 100 million for car loan and mortgage loan, respectively, all amounting to 160 million. The county government of Kisumu had only injected 47 million since the inception of the fund. Number 2, the observation was that through a letter dated 27th October 2023, the management had written to the county executive committee member for finance, economic planning, and ICT, requesting the disbursement of an additional 113 million to address the capital shortfall. On the same, we had a recommendation on that the accounting officer make budgetary provision for 113 million balance in the next financial year. Mr. Honorable Speaker, the last issue that was flagged was lack of internal audit review. On lack of internal audit review, this is what the committee was presented to, that during the year under review, there was no internal audit review of funds activities contrary to the regulation 153C of the Public Finance Management Regulations 2015, which requires that the internal auditor should review the effectiveness of the financial and non-financial performance management system of entities. In the absence of the constant reviews by internal audit unit, the effectiveness of the internal control and risk management in relation to the fund could not be confirmed. And the committee observation on this was that during the financial year 2022 and 2023, no internal audit review was conducted for the fund. This is contrary to Regulation 153(1)(c) of the Public Finance Management Regulations 2015, which requires the internal auditor to review the effectiveness of the financial and non-financial performance system of the entities. Observation 2 was that the management cited limited human and technological resources as the reason for not including the fund in the annual work plan for the year under review. Number 3, that through a letter dated 30th May 2024, the head of internal audit unit wrote to the management of the fund, informing the management of the plan to review the operation of the fund for the year 2022-23. And the last observation was that the accounting officer provided evidence of review of the fund in the financial year 2022-23. And the committee recommendations were that going forward, the management must adhere to regulations 153(1)(c) of the Public Finance Management Regulation 2015, which requires the internal auditor to review the effectiveness of the financial and non-financial performance management system of entities. And number 2, that the county executive committee member for finance, economic planning and ICT consider adequate allocation of human and technological resources to the internal audit department to ensure full coverage of the county government entities. And lastly, that this matter was resolved. Honorable Speaker, we only had 3 issues that were flagged, and almost all of them were resolved by the executive. Honorable Speaker, I hereby request that this House adopts this report of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee on the consideration of the Auditor's General Report on the financial statement of the Kisumu County Executive Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme, considering that they had a qualified opinion for the year dated 30th June 2023. And I want to call upon Honorable James Omolo to second the report. Thank you.
Honorable members, now that the motion on adoption of the report of the PICPAC committee on the examination of the Auditor General's report on the financial statements of Kisumu County Executive Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund financial year 2022-2023 have been moved. Seconded. As per our standing orders, I want to propose a question. And I propose that the motion on adoption of report of PICPAC committee on the examination of the Auditor General's report on the financial statements of Kisumu County Executive Car Loan Mortgage Scheme Fund financial year 2022-2023 is open for debate. Yes, sir, Honorable James Were.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the motion. Mr. Speaker, going by the observation and recommendation of the report, I want to commend PICPAC report for having done a thorough work. Mr. Speaker, there are recommendations that have been put forward that there is need for the management to adhere to the PFM Act that is stated. Mr. Speaker, if that is adhered to, we shall ensure that whatever the act that is put in place is followed to the latter, so that it can benefit the public, it can benefit the members. This car and mortgage scheme, if managed according to what was proposed in the Act, Mr. Speaker, I think all our members, the members of the executive, majority of them shall have benefited from that program. Mr. Speaker, you find that the executive has only plowed 47 million towards that scheme. But the regulation says that they were supposed to put around 160 million. Mr. Speaker, I don't see the reason why they cannot bridge the gap and pay the full amount so that majority of our people can benefit. Mr. Speaker, if this assembly can put them to task to ensure that what is provided in the Car and Mortgage Act is followed, then I believe all shall work well and we shall have prudent management of that fund. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, I beg to support. Thank you.
Honorable Obaso.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sorry for that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yesterday we had a lady speaker. So
Honorable Obaso, just taken lunch, so I understand. So.
thank you, thank you. Mr. Speaker, from this report we can see a prudent management of county resources, and these people has followed financial regulations that guides management of funds, and this is a good thing. The only thing that we can encourage them is to put more stringent measures so that we don't lose money from defaulters, and going forward, much more stringent measures should be put in these kind of mortgage and other funds. And I also want to encourage other departments which involve funds to keep to set this as an example so that we can emphasize on the management of public funds. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. His support.
Yes, Honorable Sami.
Speaker, may I call the member of reply?
I'm not seeing any member on his feet, so Reboarindu and reply.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Let me take the opportunity to give a reply. And first, I really want to thank the members for going through. I hope you had the time to go through the report, since it was sent in our walls by yesterday, if I'm not wrong. And thank you so much for going through the report and having been satisfied with what the committee had. Honorable Were talked of the management were there and implement the recommendations that have been given from the report, so that so as to make more improvement in the management of the public fund that is given. Again, on Honorable Were, the recommendation that was there is that the executive needs to go with what regulations 5 of the Kisumu County Car Loan and Mortgage Fund Scheme dictates, that the fund, the management needs 160 million. From the report, we found out that they have only been given 47 million shillings, and they are still requesting for 113 million just to satisfy that regulations. And I believe that the management will find it in order to top up the amount so that the services of this fund can be realized. To Honorable Basso, said the management must follow. We've been handling so many reports here with adverse opinions, and this is one of the reports and one of the funds that have got a qualified opinion, and that's an indication that the management of this fund followed most of the Public Funds Management Act as said, and we still request them to improve on the recommendations so that we can have unqualified opinion from their report. And we still wish as a committee to request other entities handling public funds to be keen on the Public Finance Management Act so that they can improve on their opinions. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the House and the honorable members for having taken their time to go through the report, and I reply, thank you.
Honorable members, now that the motion adoption of report of Big Pack Committee on the examination of Auditor General's report on the financial statement of Kisumu County Executive Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund financial year 2022-2023 have been moved, seconded, and debated. I now want to put a question as power standing orders, and I put that as many of the opinion that the motion adoption of the report of Big Pack Committee on the examination of Auditor General's report on the financial statements of Kisumu County Executive Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund financial year 2022-2023 be adopted, say aye. As many of the contrary opinions say nay. The ayes have it, and the motion adoption of the report of Big Pack Committee on the examination of the Auditor General's report on the financial statements of Kisumu County Executive Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme financial year 2022-2023 have been adopted today, Thursday, 26th September 2024 at 15:06 hours, and I direct that the recommendation of the said report be communicated to the right departments for action. Next order.
Mr. Speaker and honorable members, there is no any other business in the order paper.
You can be upstanding, honorable members. There being no any other business in the order paper, the House stands adjourned until Tuesday, the 1st of October 2024 at 2:30 p.m.